Begins with the sound of traffic, jeepneys, and busy Manila sidewalks where 14-year-old Miko performs every afternoon. He stands on a cracked corner beside his mother's small snack cart, singing for coins, smiles, and sometimes for people who stop just long enough to feel something in his voice. His life is simple: wake up early, help his mom prepare the cart, go to school when he can, and return to the sidewalk to sing before sunset. But even in the noise of the city, his voice rises above everything, smooth, emotional, and full of a pain too old for a boy his age. Locals whisper that he sounds like a young Bruno Mars. Strangers record him on their phones. He never expects anything from it. Singing is his escape, the only thing that makes the long days feel shorter. One evening, while singing, "When I Was Your Man," a tourist from the US stops in front of him. The man looks surprised, then amazed, then pulls out his phone. Miko keeps singing, not knowing that this moment will change his life. The tourist posts the video online with the caption, "This Filipino kid deserves the world." Within hours, the clip starts gaining likes. By midnight, it has hundreds of thousands of views. By morning, it has exploded across TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Miko doesn't even own a smartphone, so he learns about it from neighbors rushing to his mother's cart shouting his name. People begin showing up just to hear him sing in person. Cars slow down, delivery riders park their bikes to listen, even police officers stop to watch the boy with the golden voice. For the first time, Miko understands that the world isn't as far away as he always thought. Something big is happening, something bigger than the sidewalk he has called his stage for years. He goes to sleep that night with a strange mix of fear, excitement, and disbelief, unaware that his life is about to change even more dramatically. Begins with Miko waking up to the sound of his mother shouting in shock. She's staring at an email on a neighbor's phone, her hands shaking. The message is from America's Got Talent, inviting Miko to audition in Los Angeles after the producers watched his viral video. Miko reads the email 3 times, unable to speak. His mother begins to cry quietly, her hands covering her mouth, overwhelmed with pride. News spreads quickly through the neighborhood. Kids run around yelling that Miko is going to America, and even adults who barely know him come to congratulate the family. But one question hangs over everyone: how will they afford passports, visas, and plane tickets? They barely earn enough for daily needs. Just when the excitement seems impossible to turn into reality, fans who saw the viral video start commenting that they want to help. A supporter in California launches a crowdfunding campaign. Within 2 days, donations pour in from across America, Europe, Australia, and even Filipinos working overseas. Some donate $5, some donate hundreds, all saying the same thing: this boy deserves a chance. The campaign reaches its goal shockingly fast. A volunteer steps in to help with travel documents. A local TV station interviews him. Manila newspapers write about the sidewalk star going to AGT. For the first time in his life, Miko boards an airplane, gripping the armrests with excitement and fear. As he looks out of the window at the clouds, he thinks about everything he's leaving behind: the sidewalk, the cart, the people who believed in him before the internet did. He promises himself he will work harder than ever, not for fame but for his mother, for everyone back home, and for the kid he used to be, singing alone on noisy streets with no idea the world would one day listen. Begins with Miko stepping off a studio shuttle and staring up at the massive AGT building, the place he has only seen on TV or YouTube clips. Everything feels unreal: the bright lights, the buzzing cameras, the stage crew rushing around with headsets, and the long lines of other performers warming up their voices or stretching before their auditions. Miko keeps his head low, clutching the microphone he always used back home, even though the show provides their own. It feels like a piece of Manila he brought with him, a reminder of who he is and where he came from. When it's finally his turn, he walks down the long hallway toward the stage, each step louder and heavier in his chest. He can hear the audience cheering for the act before him. When the stage doors open, he steps into a world of blinding lights and thousands of faces staring back at him. The judges sit high above him: Simon Cowell, Sofia Vergara, Howie Mandel, and Heidi Klum, each one iconic, each one intimidating in their own way. Simon asks him his name and why he came to AGT, and Miko speaks softly into the mic, explaining that he grew up performing on the streets to help his mom. He admits he's nervous, his hands shaking, but he says he just wants to make her proud. The entire audience falls silent. Even the judges lean forward. Then the music starts, and all the fear disappears. Miko sings, "All of Me," like he has lived the lyrics, his voice trembling at first, but growing stronger with every line. People in the crowd wipe tears from their eyes. Sophia whispers, "Oh my God." When he hits the high notes, the audience erupts into cheers, standing up before he's even finished. And then comes the moment no one expects. Simon slowly pushes his chair back, stands up, and slams the golden buzzer. Gold confetti explodes from the ceiling. Miko freezes, unable to move, unable to breathe. He drops to his knees, crying as the crowd roars louder and louder. Simon walks on stage, wraps an arm around him, and says, "You were born to do this." It's the moment the internet will replay millions of times, the moment a street performer officially becomes a global star. Begins with the whirlwind of Hollywood Week, a world far different from the Manila street corner where Miko once sang. Suddenly, he's surrounded by vocal coaches, music directors, choreographers, and dozens of other golden buzzer acts who are older, more experienced, and far more confident than he feels. The pressure hits him instantly. Everyday rehearsals are intense, warm-ups at 7 a.m., stage blocking at noon, lighting tests, costume meetings, and countless interviews. For the first time, Miko feels like he might not belong. During one rehearsal, he cracks on a note he normally hits with ease. A producer tells him to breathe, but the more he tries, the more overwhelmed he becomes. That night, he sits alone in his hotel bathroom, scared he might disappoint everyone who believed in him. He replays videos of his street performances to remind himself of who he is, but the weight of expectations grows heavier. The next day, something changes. The vocal coach, a warm, experienced singer named Nina, sits beside him and talks to him like a big sister. She tells him that nerves mean he cares, and caring is what makes great performers unforgettable. She helps him adjust the song choice, breathing pattern, posture, small changes that boost his confidence. When Hollywood Week's performance day arrives, Miko walks onto the stage wearing a simple black outfit, nothing flashy, just himself. He sings, "I Will Always Love You," letting his voice rise gently at first before building into a breathtaking emotional climax. The judges nod, impressed by his control and vulnerability. When he finishes, the audience gives him a loud, thunderous cheer. Simon smiles with pride, telling him he's proving he's not just a viral video kid, he's a true artist. Backstage, Miko finally breathes again, realizing he survived one of the hardest challenges of his life. Hollywood Week doesn't just sharpen his skills, it transforms him, preparing him for the journey ahead and reminding him that the boy from the sidewalk now belongs on the world's biggest stage. Begins with Miko waking up early on the morning of the AGT semifinals, staring at the ceiling of his hotel room while the soft glow of Los Angeles sunrise creeps through the window. This night felt different, he barely slept, his heart heavy with pressure but glowing with hope. The entire city seems to hum with anticipation. His social media has exploded with millions of new followers, fan edits, reaction videos, and messages from people saying his voice brings them comfort. But for Miko, what matters most is the message from his mother back home telling him, "Anik, no matter the result, you've already made us proud." Those words calm him as he gets ready, putting on his simple outfit and touching the pendant around his neck, a small gift from his mom before he left Manila. At the studio, everything feels bigger, louder, and more intense than ever before. Crews race around, dancers rehearse, pyrotechnics blast in the background, and the audience outside forms a massive line wrapping around the building. Miko heads to his warm-up room, holding his guitar and practicing the stripped-down version of "Fix You" he plans to perform. He chose this song because it mirrors his journey, trying to fix the broken pieces of life with nothing but hope and a voice. When he steps onto the stage, the theater darkens, leaving only a single white spotlight shining down on him. The crowd quiets. He strums the guitar gently, his voice soft at first, full of vulnerability. As the song grows, so does the emotion in his voice, cracking slightly in places where his heart pushes through. The audience raises their phone flashlights, illuminating the entire theater in a sea of twinkling lights. Middle-aged Americans, kids, grandparents, even teenagers who came for the hype, all stand mesmerized by the boy from Manila. When the final note fades, the theater erupts into thunderous applause. Judges stand, clapping intensely. Simon calls it, "your most emotional performance yet." But before Miko can walk off stage, host Terry Crews steps forward with something in his eyes, a look of excitement and a secret he's been waiting to reveal. The suspense builds as Terry announces that someone special is here for Miko, someone who traveled thousands of miles. The crowd gasps, and Miko's breath catches in his throat. The stage doors open, and out walks his father. The same father who had been working overseas for years, sending money home but missing birthdays, school events, and quiet moments. Miko freezes. Tears spill instantly as he runs into his father's arms. The reunion is emotional, raw, and broadcast live to millions. Social media explodes, calling it the most heart-touching moment of the season. This powerful moment carries into the voting, where Miko receives overwhelming audience support, securing him a place in the AGT finals. Begins with the energy of Los Angeles buzzing stronger than ever. The AGT finals are unlike anything Miko has experienced: massive crowds, international news crews, and finalist contestants performing like their lives depend on it. For Miko, this night isn't just about winning, it's about telling his story one last time. He chooses to sing an original song titled "Streetlights," inspired by his childhood performing under Manila street lamps. The lyrics speak of struggle, dreams, and believing even when the world doesn't see you. He spends days perfecting every line, every vibration of his voice, working closely with the show's music director and receiving encouragement from the judges who have watched him grow. When the final night arrives, he steps out onto the stage wearing a white shirt, black jeans, and nothing flashy, just himself. The stage is designed to look like a Manila street at night, with warm yellow streetlights glowing above him. As he sings, the room fills with a wave of emotion. His voice carries a maturity beyond his years, soft, soaring, and sincere. By the end of the performance, the audience is already on their feet, clapping before the last chord ends. Simon looks more proud than ever, telling him he has the heart of a champion regardless of the outcome. As a result